It's a high-altitude poker game for high stakes. These 6 poker champions are in a big bucks battle for nearly $500,000 in prize money. But only one can win the war.
The World Poker Tour Big Time in Reno, Nevada.
Poker Tour is a series of international poker tournaments featuring some of the biggest games and largest payouts on the planet.
All right!
The Reno Hilton is the last stop on the World Poker Tour and the final chance to win a $25,000 entry into the WPT Championship. 87 poker players from around the world came to the Reno Hilton to hand over $5,000 of their own money in the hopes of making it to the final table. The 6 that made it want the biggest piece of the purse and a shot to go up against the other title holders for millions in prize money at the WPT Championship. The challenge is on. Now, down to the WPT Arena where poker champion Mike Sexton and Hollywood home game sensation Vince Van Patten call the action.
Hi everyone, welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Mike Sexton along with Vince Van Patten, and we are in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, for the final table of the Reno Hilton World Poker Challenge.
Mike, it is great to be here. This is a beautiful city, Reno, Nevada, land of the cowboy, home of the gambler. It is fantastic. Let's talk about these players. They started out 3 days ago. 87 players plunked down $5,000 each. We're down to 6. Now, what's very exciting about this, $168,000 for first place, but that's not it. They also have that guaranteed seat at the WPT Championship at Bellagio. This is the last chance to get that free seat, so there is a lot at stake here.
Well, you're right, Vince. And all along the tour this year, the winner of each event has gotten that coveted $25,000 entry into the World Poker Tour Championship event. Tonight is going to be the last night to get that entry. We're going to be playing musical chairs to see who gets it. We're down to our final 6 players. Vince, let's meet him.
Okay, the guy that really did well yesterday, Paul McGrill, nicknamed X22. We will explain later what that means. X22 is a mathematical genius. This guy is a math professor, gave it all up to play poker, and he is just clobbering this field. He has about $387,000 worth of chips. This guy is going to be tough.
In second chip position tonight, we have a dentist from Las Vegas, Nevada. His name is Cal Dykes. He's starting out with $127,000 in chips. And Vince, it's going to be interesting to see if the dentist can drill on these guys tonight.
Okay, Mark Edwards is in third place right now. He's got $114,000 worth of chips. He's from the Bay Area. They all know him in the poker circles. He's very feared.
In fourth chip position with $103,000 is Ron Rose. Ron's out of Dayton, Ohio. It's the second final table he's made on the World Poker Tour. The last time he was there, he was the first one out. He wasn't happy with his performance. He's here to redeem himself tonight. Let's see if he can do it.
Okay, and in fifth chip position is Tony Lee from Reno. They all know him. He's another great player. He's got $85,000 worth of chips. By the way, the field here was extraordinarily tough. Every superstar poker player was here. These guys like Tony Lee and Mark Edwards knocked him out. He's got $85,000 worth of chips, and he's a true contender.
And in last chip position today is the all-time winningest tournament player in history, TJ Cloutier out of Dallas, Texas. TJ is a poker legend, and although he's starting today short on chips, he's long on experience. He'll be a man to watch today.
You know what's great? He finally made it. One of the good old boys of poker made the final table. It's going to be a pleasure to watch TJ play.
All right, here we go. We're about to get underway. Hand number 1.
I'm going to need all this room.
Here we go. It's going to be on Tony Lee to act first.
Tony Lee is the popular games manager right here at the Reno Hilton. So he's the local favorite, the crowd favorite.
The great thing about being on the World Poker Tour is we get to see these guys' cards. We get into the minds of these great poker players, and it is a true thrill to see it. And Tony's picked up a big hand, 10-ace offsuit. He's going to raise it, Mike.
Well, many players wouldn't play that hand in first position like that. He's come to play today. He is not sitting back.
TJ's out. Ron Rose is out.
TJ and Ron pass.
Cal Dykes with the 3 deuces out. Paul McGrill now. Mr. X22 has got Queen 9.
Sad but true.
He's not going to play.
And he lays down his hand.
Mark Edwards from the Bay Area is also going to fold it.
He lays it down, and Tony picks up the first pot. Now he's going to be a popular little guy here. Remember, he works at this casino, so just the idea of seeing one of your fellow employees at the final table of this televised championship, it's a thrill for everybody in this whole casino.
He had a nice ace-10, takes a nice pot, but I'll tell you something. To his left, TJ Cloutier. I'm just so excited that this man has made the final 6. It is going to be a pleasure to watch him play today. He is some player.
He's the all-time leading money winner in tournament poker history, and it is the first time that he's made a final table on the World Poker Tour.
I've got enough chips to go around the table 3 times, and then I wouldn't have any chips left. So I got to play a hand pretty soon. But if I double up, I'll be fine.
Today, remember, he's on the short stack now, so he's going to have to get a hold of some chips if he's going to be around long.
Well, if anybody can do it, he can. Here we go, second hand at play. It's going to be on the old cowboy TJ to act first.
TJ Cloutier looks down at 2 sevens.
Yes.
Now he's got a hand here. He's reaching for his chips. He is going to raise this pot.
Here he goes.
Says 14,000.
He comes in for 14,000.
But wait a second, look at this. Ron Rose right next to him has just picked up a pair of aces, a monster hand.
Whoa. This could be tragedy for TJ Cloutier. Let's see what happens.
He's
Ron's
going
moving
all
all in. He's not fussing around. He's grabbed all his chips. He has moved over the top of TJ Cloutier with 2 aces all in.
Helduck's going to fold.
Paul McGrill with deuce queen folds. Now look at this.
Mark Edwards has got a pair of jacks, Mike.
In a small blind with 2 jacks, a very big hand himself.
Now, he's got to seriously consider calling this hand.
Now he's seen TJ raise and Ron Rose come over the top, re-raise. But still, 2 jacks is a monster hand.
He's going to fold the hand.
He lays that down.
Now, right behind him, Tony Lee's got king, queen of clubs, also a strong hand.
Another big hand.
But he's not going to play.
What's the choice? I got a pair, so I got to play.
And here goes TJ.
Oh, boy, he's in.
Small pair.
You can't really fold him for playing here. He's on a short stack.
Sevens against Ron Rose's 2 aces.
He was hoping he was up against ace-king. But instead, he's up against 2 aces, and right now, he's about an 80% underdog
Here
to win
comes
this
the flop,
fight.
Mike. No, it's not going to help TJ yet.
Flop is 8-5-3. Now, TJ is going to have to catch 2 runners to make a straight or catch a-7, or he's going to be out of here already in 6th position.
Ron Rose with the aces in front at this point. Here we go.
An 8 comes off.
No.
TJ Cloutier has to catch 1 of 2 sevens, or he is going to be our 6th place finisher just as quick.
Last card.
Boom, he doesn't do it.
He's out of this competition.
Well, it's a devastating blow to him. He's waited all season to make a final table. And right now, he's tied Kathy Lieber for the quickest knockout on the World Poker Tour out on the 2nd deal.
Oh, man, he is stumbling away. A tough defeat here.
TJ Cloutier, the all-time champion at poker, is gone. He was on the short stack bench. You can't really fault him for putting all his chips in there with 2 sevens. The short stack is the guy that's the short chip.
Exactly. That was TJ today.
I knew when I got up this morning, first pair I had to play. So that was that.
So we're going to see you again soon?
Yeah, I'm going right down to Bellagio.
Good.
For 6th place, he'll pick up $18,000. But I'll tell you, I'd like to see a lot more TJ Cloutier today.
For those of you that are new to the game, we've got a quick tutorial on how to play Texas Hold'em. The game is No Limit Hold'em, the Cadillac of poker. It's a game that takes a minute to learn and a lifetime to master. To start, each player is dealt 2 cards face down. Then, 5 community cards, cards everyone can play, are placed face up on the table. Each player combines their 2 hidden down cards with the community cards to make their best 5-card poker hand.
And betting is really what this game is all about. Let me explain. You get your first 2 cards, you make a bet. Then the dealer puts the first 3 community cards on the table. In poker, we call this the flop. They bet again. Then the dealer puts the 4th community card on the table. This is called the turn card. Once again, big round of betting. Then the last card. We call this the river. It's turned up on the table. They make a big last round of betting. Turn your cards over. You see who wins.
They call it No Limit Hold'em because there's no limit on how much a player can bet. At any moment, he can declare that he is all in and push all of his chips into the pot.
Right, and that makes chip position, or how many chips you have, very, very important in this game. All right, the action's going to be on Cal Dykes. He's a dentist. He's got King 5. He's not going to play. Paul McGrill, X22, is not going to play with the 6-3.
Now here's Mark Edwards on the button with that front of that little white hockey
24.
puck. That's the best position at the poker table.
Well, he's got an ace. He's got an ace, deuce, and he's going to raise it, Mike.
He is. Nice aggressive play here by
Look at
Mark
this.
Edwards, raising on the button with ace deuce offsuit.
Tony Lee's got a real pair. He's got a pair of 6s. Sometimes you don't know quite what to do with that hand.
Well, we saw Tony play very aggressively the first hand with ace 10 offsuit. Let's see what he does here with the 2 6s.
This guy works in the casino.
Mark Edwards in favorable position here. He's trying to take advantage of it by raising it.
Tony Lee's going all in, Mike. He's doing the right thing here.
He is. What a bold play right here by Tony Lee.
He's taking the cliff dive.
Hey, you got to like this guy's style here. He is going for it here today.
Now look, Ron Rose is behind him, but Ron's got a headache, it looks like, actually. But he's got a deuce 5 in his hand.
Total of 91.
Well, he shouldn't have a headache over this hand. This is an automatic fold.
What's he doing?
Well, last time he made the final table events, he was the first one out. He didn't get much TV time.
I don't think he realizes it's his turn. Okay, finally folds a junk hand, deuce 5. Now we're going back to Mark Edwards, who has ace deuce. He's just been raised.
It's not the kind of hand that you want to be playing when your opponent moves in on you, I can tell you that. And it will cripple him if he would call and lose this pot.
He's not going to call it.
No, he opts to fold. Another nice lay down by Mark Edwards right there. You can't fold a guy for raising on the button with an ace high. And you got to be pretty amazed so far. He has made the correct lay down on every hand so far where he's had a decision to make.
I think what I bring to my play is a discipline to wait, and then counterpunch.
Remember, when you start a tournament, everybody starts with equal chips. In this tournament, they all started with 5,000 in chips. As players get eliminated, people's chips either increase or decrease along the way. What you're saying is an accumulation from all the chips that were in the tournament divided amongst these players based on the amount of pots that they won to get this far.
And it's a big advantage if you have the chips.
Chips are power. The guys that have them can play a lot more pots, can be a lot more aggressive than people that don't. If you have chips, you can just push them around like a mop at that table.
Well, it's going to be on X22, Paul McGrill.